And, you know, go by weight on the bottles here, and you can go after that. She's constipated, has a fissure already. All right, so you would want to use number 2 or 3 on her, stomach and bowel number 2 or 3, and get her moving. Get her off of all dairy, you know that's for sure. I mean, you can't get ahead of this if you're consuming dairy products. Our son 5 gets skin rashes. Okay, so we got again, back to the kidneys and adrenals. So you got to get those moving there to stop these skin rashes. It shows just, again, systemic lymphatic constipation, and you just want to go after this. The same with each child, the same with each adult, just different stages, different levels. Sometimes there's a lot going on, you have to pick it up. Sometimes it looks like eczema. Well, it doesn't matter, you know, what you want to call it. It is still lymphatic trash, acids coming out the skin, and you can avert that by getting this little young man's adrenals and kidneys. He's only 5 years old, so you would just do a few drops of lymphatic 1, a few drops of kidney. I would do the endocrine glands too, and then do some parasite in maybe a little bit, but those 3 would be good on that young man, and make sure he's pooping good and stuff like that. It's never the same. He's also been having ear infections. To see here, you really got to detoxify your children. Be prepared, though, that they are going to detoxify, so you're going to have some healing crisis here, and they're going to get worse before better. You're going to see a lot more mucus and stuff coming out the sinuses, which is what you want. You know, these poor children, these medical doctors, they don't know how to detoxify, so they just punch holes in eyes and ears and everywhere else. Well, that's an idea. Should I start them all on the herbs and the detox kit? Sure. But, you know, you use small dosages. You can get with Jennifer on the 5-year-old, but maybe 5 or 6 drops is maybe all you need for the 5-year-old. 9-year-old, you can go on up to a quarter of a drop or full probably. Take a look at that by weight, of course. Lemon juice fasting. Oh, the incredibly JY. Hey, man. I can't thank you enough. Oh, incredible. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. We really try, you know, to help people, and I think a lot of you getting a good sense of who we are. We've had you in the lobby yesterday and stuff, and so you get a good sense of who we are, what type of people we are, where our heart is, and I think you get a good sense of that. Appreciate that, and it takes one to know one. That's why you're all such beautiful people. It takes one to know one, and you all don't get caught up with the hummingbirds of the world. You know, they're there to pull you down. They've lost their way, and so they pull you down. It's one thing to have an opinion, but you can't cram it down other people's throat. That's not nice. That's showing a lack of spirituality and egotism, because what purpose did it serve for you? But it got you booted off and exposed your ego in front of the world. It's just not a pleasant thing for yourself. You can't hurt the spiritual people. They're already God people. You can't influence that. And I forgot that those that eat meat can't experience God. Well, wait a minute. Those that are not Christian cannot experience God. Those that are not Hindu cannot experience God. Although you don't see that in that religion much, to be honest with you. Not like more of the religions. Islam the same way. You're an infidel if you're not. You know, all this crap. You know, everybody's got to drop these religious crap type thinkings, because the judgment against each other is just not in the world the way it should be right now. Those people that feel that way will be eons before they get out of this level. So all of you around the world, open your hearts and love each other for the fact that we're all part of God. We're all part of the one, no matter what, and enjoy our differences. I think the differences of each of us are fascinating. I love it. Remember, there's not 2 blades of grass the same. God is totally individual. So there's all types of individuals, yet one. How interesting, right? Thanks for all your comments there, my friend. I appreciate that. Thanks. I appreciate that. So I really thank you, my man. Takes one to know one. I had a few questions regarding the lemon juice fast outlined in your book, as I'm attempting to work on my way up to a 40-day. Wow, lemon juice fast. That's a butt kicker, man. In the near future. I think it might be valuable to many of your subscribers to have a deeper understanding of the differences between your cleanse and the master cleanse. It's the same. Now, so Stanley Burroughs, although the lemon juice fast, I think he just took it and added a little cayenne pepper and a little maple syrup or whatever you want to add to it. That was more his. I don't really care. I don't like so much the cayenne pepper, and I don't need much maple syrup or any sweetener in lemon juice. I don't like it too tart, but I don't have to deal with it in that way. So any way you want to do it. Cutting with the sugars definitely cuts the tartness out of it and can make you go longer. You know, a long-term lemon juice fast is very, very astringent. So you just have to remember that and not get caught up in that. If you feel like you have to pull off a long fast with lemons, I would. But try the grape first. Try a 40-day grape fast. That's a kick better too. But I don't see any differences. And really, there's no rules of the road out there in terms of these juices and what you're doing. It's just whatever you come up with. You know, Dan the man's always playing and coming up with different juices. I mean, it's just what you do. You know, you just play with it like a chemist in a lab, but you're using natural things and you're not isolating chemistry. A big difference. So really, just play as you will. You can use stevia, agave, whatever you want in that. The problem with maple syrup is that to get maple syrup, the sap has to be super cooked. So really, nutritively, you don't have a lot, just complex chemistry. So I'm not really, I mean, I like the taste of maple syrup, but tell you the truth, there are some Amish friends of mine that through the maple process, you know, you have a lot of water left over, and they sell that maple water. Ooh, that's good and very nutritious. So very good stuff. Real smart Amish man, very, very intelligent man. Amazing. John Kime's brother. Just FYI, I am currently on the herbal protocol to treat chronic illness. 10 years as per your direction after interpreting my irises. Oh, cool. Cool, man. You're a go-getter. Fantastic. 1. Should one consider the morning saltwater flush the master cleanser utilizes to help continue to flush out the bowels? I just really don't get into that. If you want to, okay. I'm real careful with too much salt. If you're going to use the salt, obviously you know to use a Himalayan or Celtic or real salt. But, okay, you know, it's okay. I wouldn't get too much of the sodium chloride type stuff, but, you know, that's okay. I tend to get somewhat constipated. Yeah, and you would too. You know, I think Mutt was using these stomach and bowel formulas, and he was still getting stuff out in his 20th some day. But shortly after that, it stopped, you know. So there's a time where you won't get anything out, but you can still get stool out, you know, up into the 15th, 20th day if you use a bowel cleaner, or like number 3 like that, absolutely. Can one incorporate the GI broom into the lemon juice fast cleanse? I mean, you could. You definitely could, and there's enough herbs in there to keep you moving in there. So, but if you were going to do another type of clay where you didn't have the movers in there, that's another thing, is you just don't want to get constipated with clays, because that has a tendency to lock. And that's the only thing that I'm real cautious with clays, like bentonite and charcoal. You want to be careful. It's not fun to get impacted with those clays, I'm here to tell you. And you don't want to have surgery to get impacted. So just being cautious is a good idea there. Don't know what to say about the GI broom. I've never done that, but be interesting. But you want to make sure your bowels are moving always, and that's why the GI broom is a mover as well. Just can't afford to have people having you know, locked bowels and stuff. But it's an interesting thought. You guys are definitely terror-upper people. I'll tell you what. You guys, I just love you guys, and it's fun to watch all you guys tearing it up. I just think I'm humbled, and I just see the beauty of life coming together as one, and it's just incredible. And you guys are just really tearing up the pavement, much more than I did, I think, in those ways. I mean, I became a fruitarian, then a mono eater for 6 months, but I mean, you guys are really, really tearing it up in other ways. I don't think I ever did the lemon juice fast before the 6 months. I did later on as I learned about it, and then I went almost 30 days on it. But I couldn't get, I think I did 29, I think. I think Mutt did 27. Some of the guys, you know, around the upper 20s, you start getting really limited out. You know, a lot of lemon. It's just a lot of strong power there. So 40, and some of you just kicked butt, you know, really went right on around me, and I love that. I think that's the idea here, is that you shall do better things than I, right? And that's exactly right. And doesn't hurt my feelings. I'm proud of you all, actually. Okay, I tend to get quite a bit of bloating as well as when on the lemon cleanse. Try the grapes then, man, first. Clean your body up a little bit first. The lemon juice is a pretty strong fast, actually, so you might want to start the grape fast and do that first and break yourself out there. One of our New Zealand YouTubers are sitting in for a week here getting his clinicals. I tend to get quite a bit of, let me see here, been releasing fast enough to alleviate the resulting edema, but would you have any suggestions or adjustments to might help that? Well, you always keep your bowels moving for sure, really pulling on that bowel wall, it sounds like, and if you get a little edemic with it, it shows you how acidic you are. I don't know what your eyes look like, Jeremy, but I certainly would probably do the grape fast first. And thank you, my friend, for viewing this and your comments. I like appreciate the comments. It feeds us and keeps us going because, this is an insane level of thinking when you're dealing with humans and their suffering. And they're just, it's not a surface suffering nowadays. We have some very deep problems, and I think the class got a good example of that in class. So, dear Robert, would juicing my fresh wild greens but swallowing some of the fiber be like taking some encapsulators? Yeah, sure. And that they both have physical bulk? Yep. Would just some fiber be more drawing in the intestines? No, I think that's a good way of putting it, and swallowing some pulp, yeah, I think that's a good way. Rather than just juice, one might be more than a tincture. Well, I mean, when you're juicing fresh greens and stuff up like that, it's pretty powerful. So I like the raw the best. These herbs are meant to, and it's funny, is, we talk about cooking and how it coagulates and breaks apart chemistry, but my God, look at the Hill tea. You can cook that thing and it still has a very powerful medicinal value. We've seen people on the cooked tea, clean these cancerous tumors and stuff right out of them, and it's like, wow. That's pretty cool. That's how powerful God is. You can cook it and it still comes at you. Amazing. Oh, you know what I mean? Wondering what you have to say on this. Yeah, I think you're right, dear one. I think that, that's a pretty good idea. Absolutely. All these things are fun, paving the way into the unknown. I love that. We need to expose this, and you guys are just really responsible for helping to explode this around the world. We've been working for years behind the scenes creating all these little lights everywhere. Now we're creating a lot more lights and tying everybody together. It ought to be real fun. But as you see, the negative forces don't like us very well. Kind of disturb the negative side of life. Too bad. 303, hi sweetheart, how you doing? Hi, Dr. Morse, number 115.3. Partly answered a question I hadn't asked you yet. Oh, well. Yeah, I love you too, dear one. Above things we can do to lessen the chances of having to come back to an earthly life again. And absolutely, you can't create a whole bunch of things and not take responsibility for it, because that's the illusion. That's why karma has to be understood by all of man. And once a karma is understood, and it isn't foreign to Christians, keep in mind, Jesus said you reap what you sow. Buddha had his ways. Everybody has their ways. And it's simply saying that what you put out, you get back. But think about this in another way, than the fact that what you create, you have to take responsibility for. No one else is. And some of these pseudo-masters might tell you that, but I can only tell you that you have to walk the road yourself. And so that's about living in the now and quit creating. Just let the hand of God, figuratively speaking, guide you. And just be a channel. And when you need it, it's there. When you don't, you can always be in the now. Just put that budding mind to the side, and it'll be there when you need it, and you'll be able to stay in ecstasy while you need it. So it's just great to prepare yourself and absorb yourself deeper into the world of God, whatever that means to you. Even if it's just pure energy to you, pure consciousness or awareness, whatever the infinite being is to you, absorb into that. But just simply be more now. If you have no concepts, don't use concepts. Just be more now. Be in the moment now. Be more now, more now, more now. Surrender. Be. Don't let anything stop. No thought, no ego, no nothing. Just be in that ever presence of the moment. And very expansive.